What if the way you've been eating meat your entire life is quietly working against your bone density and joint health, even if you believe you're doing everything right? Most people assume that simply eating meat equals stronger bones and healthier joints. But according to newer research in aging nutrition science, that belief can be dangerously incomplete. Especially if you're over 60, the way meat is eaten can determine whether it helps rebuild bone tissue or silently accelerates joint stiffness and long-term wear. And here's the question most people never stop to ask. How could something you trust for strength be working the opposite way? Did you know that two adults can eat the same piece of meat, yet one improves bone density while the other experiences more inflammation, weaker joints, and slower recovery? And what if the real issue isn't your age at all, but small protein habits no doctor ever explained? According to emerging studies on protein metabolism after 60, digestion, mineral absorption, and collagen renewal change significantly with age. And most traditional high-protein advice completely ignores this shift. So if the advice hasn't changed, but your body has, what's really happening inside your joints and bones? Here's the unsettling part. Many older adults increase protein intake to prevent bone loss, yet still see bone scans worsen and joint pain intensify year after year. That's not bad luck. That's biology being misunderstood. And in a moment, I'll explain why this happens. Because it has nothing to do with how much meat you eat, and everything to do with how your aging body absorbs protein now. This is where most seniors unknowingly go wrong. If you're over 60, your stomach acid, digestive enzymes, and amino acid utilization are not the same as they were decades ago. That means habits that once supported strong bones can quietly stop working, or even backfire. What if certain food combinations are blocking collagen production? What if meal timing matters more than portion size? And what if one simple daily habit is the difference between rebuilding joint tissue or slowly wearing it down? And what if fixing this is far simpler than you've been led to believe? This isn't about fear, it's about awareness. Because the good news is just as powerful as the warning. According to modern research on bone health and joint support for seniors, small, precise adjustments can dramatically improve how protein supports bone density, cartilage resilience, and mobility, without cutting out meat or following extreme diets. In fact, some of the strongest bones seen in older adults aren't built by eating more protein, but by eating it the right way. And this is where real control comes back into your hands. Stay with me because in this video you'll discover why meat can either become one of your strongest tools for lifelong mobility or an invisible obstacle quietly weakening your joints. And as we count down, each step reveals a shift so simple, yet so overlooked, that most people wish they had learned it years earlier. Let's start with the first one, because it changes everything that comes after. If you're over 60, one of the most dangerous things about bone loss and joint degeneration is how quietly it develops. There is often no sharp warning pain, no sudden signal that something is going wrong. Bones can thin year after year. Cartilage can wear down millimeter by millimeter. And joints can slowly lose their shock-absorbing ability, all while daily life feels mostly fine. By the time stiffness, instability, or a fall finally appears, the underlying damage may have been building for a decade. So how could something this serious stay hidden for so long? Here's the hidden threat many older adults never hear about. Even when you eat enough protein, your body may no longer be using it effectively. According to research on protein absorption after 60 and musculoskeletal aging, changes in digestion can quietly reduce collagen repair, disrupt mineral binding in bone, and increase low-grade inflammation around joints. This means habits that once supported strength can suddenly stop working, or even accelerate joint wear. And that realization alone can feel unsettling. But what if the real issue isn't what you're eating? It's how your aging body handles protein now. The good news is this. Bone density and joint health after 60 are not controlled only by age, genetics, or bad luck. There is real, measurable hope. Studies on nutritional timing, protein utilization, and connective tissue health show that the body can still respond positively, even later in life, when food is eaten in ways that match how the aging system actually works. Many older adults who believed their joints were past repair discovered that targeted adjustments restored comfort, stability, and confidence in daily movement. And here's the surprising part. Those improvements often begin sooner than expected. What makes this hopeful is not complexity, supplements, or extreme diets. It's understanding how everyday foods interact with digestion, inflammation, and bone remodeling after 60, not decades ago. Small changes can improve how amino acids are absorbed, how minerals are directed into bone, and how joints recover overnight. In fact, some of the strongest improvements in seniors came not from eating more protein, but from eating it with intention. So which adjustments actually make the biggest difference? If you're over 60, this matters deeply, because mobility is independence, and independence shapes everything from confidence to quality of life. The idea that decline is inevitable is outdated. There is a smarter, safer path forward, grounded in physiology and supported by modern research on healthy aging. The real question is, where do most people unknowingly take the wrong turn? In this video, you'll discover how to turn everyday meals into practical tools that support bone density, joint comfort, and long-term mobility, naturally and without giving up foods you enjoy. And as we move forward, you'll see why understanding where things quietly go wrong is the first step toward lasting strength, and why most common advice completely misses this point. According to Harvard researchers studying aging, protein metabolism after 60, and musculoskeletal decline, the body's ability to absorb and use nutrients changes far more with age than most people realize. In simple terms, eating the same foods you've always eaten doesn't guarantee the same results for bone density and joint health anymore. That's why so many seniors feel confused when they eat well, yet still notice weaker bones, sore joints, or slower recovery. Let's break down what this really means for your health, because once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. And here's the question that changes everything. What if the problem isn't the food, but the way your body is processing protein now? A large body of research over the last decade suggests that after 60, digestion becomes less efficient, stomach acid often declines, and enzymes responsible for breaking down protein can work more slowly. In everyday language, your body may be leaving valuable building blocks on the table. That's why some older adults feel stiff in the morning or heavy in the legs even after what seemed like a nutritious dinner. And here's the question most people never ask. If your body isn't absorbing nutrients well, is that meal actually supporting bone remodeling after 60 the way you think it is? In a moment, I'll show you the simple signals that reveal whether your meals are truly landing the way they need to. According to clinical nutrition research in older adults, amino acids, the building blocks of muscle, bone, and cartilage, require specific conditions to be absorbed and directed where they're needed. In simple terms, timing, combinations, and digestion can matter more than sheer quantity. That's why two seniors can eat similar meals, yet one maintains strength and balance while the other slowly loses confidence in movement. If you've ever wondered why progress feels inconsistent, you're not alone. And the reason may surprise you. So what are the specific conditions your body needs for better protein absorption after 60? And why do so many people accidentally block them at the table? Researchers in geriatric medicine have also observed that low-grade inflammation tends to rise with age, even in people who feel generally okay. In plain language, this creates a background noise in the body that interferes with repair, including the tissues that protect your joints. That's why joints can feel achy after simple activities, or why recovery takes longer than it used to. But here's the part most people miss. Food choices and eating habits can either calm that noise or amplify it, without obvious warning signs. And if inflammation is the hidden volume knob, what daily habit quietly turns it up without you noticing? According to multiple studies on aging and mobility, seniors who adjust how they eat, not just what they eat, often see meaningful improvements in comfort, stability, and energy. In everyday terms, the body still knows how to rebuild. It just needs clearer signals. That's why some people suddenly notice better balance, less stiffness, or more confidence walking, even years after being told decline was inevitable. And this raises an important question. What signals is your body getting right now? Because once you change the signal, the outcome often changes faster than you'd expect. This isn't about complicated science or rigid rules. It's about translating research into daily life, where meals need to be enjoyable, practical, and realistic. And as we move forward, you'll see how subtle, science-backed adjustments can change how your body responds to food, especially if you're over 60. In the next part, we'll break these principles down step by step so you can see exactly where small changes make the biggest difference for stronger bones and healthier joints, and why the first adjustment is far simpler than most people think. Now, let's count down through 10 simple but often misunderstood ways meat can either support or quietly undermine bone density and joint health, especially if you're over 60. Most people focus on what they eat, but very few ever stop to question how those foods are working inside an aging body. Stay with me, because as we move closer to number 1, the changes become smaller, yet the impact on long-term mobility, balance, and joint comfort becomes much bigger. And the first one is something most people completely overlook, even those who believe they're eating perfectly. Number 10. Pair meat with vitamin C-rich foods. The key mechanism here is collagen activation. Vitamin C is essential for collagen production and helps minerals lock into the bone matrix instead of circulating unused. After 60, collagen turnover slows, which means protein alone may no longer support bone strength and joint resilience. So what if the issue isn't the meat itself, but what's missing beside it? In practical terms, pairing meat with vitamin C-rich foods like bell peppers, citrus, broccoli, or leafy greens helps the body repair joints and connective tissue more efficiently. Many older adults notice less stiffness and better recovery when this pairing becomes consistent. If protein hasn't seemed to work the way it once did, this may be why. The main caution for adults over 60 is sugary sauces and processed condiments, which interfere with collagen formation and increase inflammation. Over time, these hidden sugars quietly cancel out the benefits of an otherwise healthy meal. The result of correcting this pairing is stronger connective tissue and joints that feel less brittle, and coming up next, a method that works even before digestion begins. Number 9. Favor slow-cooked meats. The mechanism here involves time and heat breaking collagen into gelatin, a form aging joints can actually absorb. As digestion slows with age, tougher proteins become harder to process. Slow cooking essentially does part of the digestive work for you. So what if how meat is cooked matters just as much as what kind it is? In practical use, stews, braised meats, and bone-in slow roasts support smoother digestion, better joint lubrication, and less morning stiffness. The caution is excess sodium, especially for those managing blood pressure after 60. The result is easier movement and joints that feel looser. And this becomes even more important as the different protein types enter the picture. Number 8. Balance red. Meat with poultry or fish. The key mechanism here is amino acid diversity, which becomes especially important for bone density and joint health after 60. Different protein sources deliver different amino acid profiles, and each supports muscle repair, bone remodeling, and cartilage maintenance in unique ways. When the same protein is eaten repeatedly, some repair pathways become overloaded while others remain underused. So what if joint fatigue isn't about too much protein, but too little variety? In practical use, rotating red meat with poultry or fish during the week allows multiple repair systems to stay active. Fish supports joints differently than beef, while poultry offers a lighter protein balance many seniors digest more easily. This simple rotation can quietly reduce inflammation while preserving strength. Many older adults notice more consistent recovery and less joint strain when protein variety improves. The caution is relying on red meat alone. While it supports strength, overdependence can increase joint inflammation over time. The result of balancing red meat with poultry or fish is steadier strength, smoother movement, and less joint fatigue. And if you're over 60, this balance quietly protects long-term mobility. And now, let's move to a habit that directly feeds the cushioning inside your joints. Number 7. Add bone broth or cartilage-containing cuts. The mechanism here involves glycine and proline, amino acids essential for cartilage repair and joint cushioning. After 60, collagen turnover slows, making it harder for joints to maintain their shock-absorbing layer. So what if joints aren't wearing out, but simply lacking the raw materials to rebuild? In practical use, bone broth or cartilage-containing cuts like shank, oxtail, or chicken thighs provide these compounds in a form the body readily uses. When consumed regularly, many seniors notice smoother movement and less stiffness, especially during first steps in the morning. The caution is store-bought broths with excess salt or additives, which can stress blood pressure and cancel benefits. The result of choosing clean bone broth or natural cartilage-rich cuts is better joint cushioning, improved comfort during movement, and greater confidence in daily activity. And the next step addresses a problem many older adults unknowingly create at every meal. Number 6. Choose lean cuts to reduce inflammation. The key mechanism here is lowering chronic inflammation, a quiet but powerful force that puts long-term stress on joints and connective tissue, especially after 60. As we age, low-grade inflammation becomes easier to trigger and harder to control. Heavily marbled, high-fat meats can intensify this process by increasing inflammatory signaling around joints, tendons, and cartilage. Over time, this background inflammation may show up as stiffness, swelling, or slow recovery. So what if meat isn't the problem at all? Just the type of meat being chosen. In practical use, lean cuts such as trimmed beef, skinless poultry, or lean pork deliver high-quality protein without excess saturated fat. These choices support muscle and bone repair while keeping inflammatory stress lower. Many older adults notice that when they shift toward leaner cuts, joints feel lighter and movement becomes smoother within weeks, without eating less or giving up meat. If certain meals leave you feeling achy or heavy, this may be why. The caution for those over 60 is frequent intake of heavily marbled cuts. While enjoyable, eating them often can quietly undermine joint health in a body already managing age-related inflammation. The result of choosing lean cuts more consistently is calmer joints, easier movement, and better recovery. And now, let's look at what's sitting beside the meat on your plate, because that choice matters just as much. Number 5. Add magnesium and potassium-rich sides. The mechanism here involves nerve-muscle coordination and bone signaling, two systems essential for balance and stability as we age. Magnesium and potassium help muscles contract and relax smoothly, support nerve communication, and assist bones in responding to movement stress. After 60, even mild deficiencies can affect balance and confidence while walking. So what if steadier steps aren't about more exercise, but better mineral support at meals? In practical use, pairing meat with magnesium and potassium-rich sides like leafy greens, beans, lentils, or legumes helps stabilize movement and improve control. These foods work quietly in the background, supporting balance without drawing attention to themselves. Many seniors feel more grounded when these sides become routine. If balance feels unpredictable, this could be the missing link. The caution is ultra-processed side dishes, which disrupt mineral balance and increase inflammation. Over time, they weaken the systems that keep you steady. The result of choosing mineral-rich sides is steadier steps, better control, and greater confidence. And after 60, that kind of stability isn't just comfort, it's independence. 4. Eat smaller, protein-even meals. The mechanism behind this approach is improved amino acid utilization across the entire day, a process that becomes increasingly important for bone remodeling after 60. As we age, the body's ability to absorb and direct protein efficiently declines, especially when it arrives in one large dose. When too much protein is consumed at once, a portion may be oxidized or wasted instead of being used for repairing bone, muscle, and joint tissue. So what if eating more protein isn't the problem, but eating it all at once is? In practical use, spreading protein evenly across meals allows your body to work with smaller, more manageable amounts. This steady delivery supports continuous tissue repair, helps preserve muscle that protects joints, and encourages stronger bone signaling throughout the day. Many seniors notice better energy, less post-meal heaviness, and more consistent recovery when protein is distributed this way. And if you've ever felt stiff the morning after a heavy dinner, this might explain why. The caution here is skipping meals and overloading dinner, a habit that's very common after retirement. Large evening protein loads are harder to digest when stomach acid and enzymes are already slowing down, which can reduce overnight repair and increase morning stiffness. Over time, this pattern can quietly undermine bone density and joint health, even if total protein intake seems adequate. The result of spreading protein more evenly, however, is better recovery, less overnight stiffness, and more stable strength from day to day. And now, the final 3 habits may surprise you, because the next one changes what kind of protein your joints respond to best. Number 3. Prioritize grass-fed when possible. The mechanism here involves omega-3 balance, a key factor in controlling chronic joint inflammation that increases naturally with age. Grass-fed meats tend to contain a healthier ratio of omega-3 to omega-6 fatty acids, which helps calm inflammatory signals around joints and connective tissue. For adults over 60, this balance can influence how stiff or comfortable joints feel during everyday movement. But does that mean grass-fed needs to be perfect or constant to matter? In practical use, even occasional grass-fed choices can make a meaningful difference over time. This isn't about switching everything overnight, it's about small upgrades when available. Choosing grass-fed beef once or twice a week can support joint comfort and complement other bone-friendly habits without increasing cost or complexity. And if you've ever wondered why some proteins feel lighter on your joints than others, this is often why. The caution is processed meats, which work in the opposite direction by increasing inflammatory load and offering little support for bone remodeling. These products can quietly cancel out the benefits of higher quality protein, especially after 60 when inflammation is already harder to regulate. The result of prioritizing grass-fed when possible is joints that feel less tight, more responsive movement, and a calmer inflammatory environment that supports long-term mobility. And the next habit directly affects bone density itself, often more than people realize. Number 2. Combine meat with calcium-friendly foods. The mechanism here is mineral synergy, a process where protein and calcium work together to strengthen bone density rather than competing with each other. As we age, especially after 60, calcium absorption becomes less efficient unless it's paired correctly. Protein from meat provides the structural framework for bone, while calcium fills and hardens that structure. When these two arrive together under the right conditions, bone remodeling becomes more effective. But here's the question most people never ask. What happens when calcium shows up alone, or worse, gets blocked at the table? In practical use, pairing meat with calcium-friendly foods like yogurt, kefir, cheese, or leafy greens such as kale and collards helps minerals move where they're actually needed, into bone tissue. For many seniors, this simple pairing can quietly improve bone strength without changing how much they eat. It's not about adding more food, but aligning what's already on the plate. And if you've ever wondered why calcium supplements didn't seem to help much, this may explain why. The caution here is soda and other phosphoric acid beverages, which actively interfere with calcium absorption. Even one daily soda can tilt the balance in the wrong direction, especially after 60, when mineral regulation is already more fragile. Over time, this silent interference can weaken bone density despite doing everything right. The result of correcting this pairing, however, is bones that stay resilient, more resistant to thinning, and better prepared to support balance and mobility. And now we arrive at the most overlooked habit of all, one that determines whether any of this works in the first place. Number 1. Slow down and chew thoroughly. The mechanism behind this final step is digestion itself. After 60, stomach acid and digestive enzyme output naturally decline, which means protein and minerals require more mechanical preparation before they ever reach the gut. Chewing isn't just about comfort. It's the first and most critical step in nutrient absorption. When food is thoroughly broken down in the mouth, the body can extract amino acids, calcium, and trace minerals far more efficiently. So what if the biggest nutrition mistake isn't what you eat, but how fast you eat it? In practical use, slowing down meals and chewing each bite more thoroughly gives your digestive system a head start. This simple habit supports better protein absorption, improved collagen production, and more effective bone remodeling, all from the same food you were already eating. Many seniors are surprised to notice less bloating, better energy after meals, and even reduced joint stiffness when they slow their pace. And this raises an important question. Could one small habit be amplifying every other benefit you've learned so far? The caution is rushing meals, eating while distracted, standing, or under stress. These habits signal the body to move food through quickly, reducing nutrient uptake at a time when efficiency matters most. Over years, this can quietly undermine bone density and joint health without obvious warning signs. The result of slowing down, however, is stronger bones, healthier joints, and better absorption from the very same food, without changing portions or cutting foods you enjoy. And next, we'll bring all of this together into a simple daily routine that makes these habits easy to apply day after day. If you've been feeling stiff, tired, or quietly worried about your bones or joints, you're not alone. Many people over 60 feel the same way. The good news is your body can still respond and adapt at any age, often more than you expect when it gets the right nutritional signals. Share in the comments. How old are you, and what's your biggest bone or joint health goal right now? Your story might inspire another senior watching today, and in just a moment, we'll gently bring everything together into a clear, simple takeaway you can use daily. Always check with your doctor before making major diet changes, especially if you manage medications or chronic conditions. Remember, your body still has the capacity to rebuild bone density and support joint health when it's guided the right way. If this video helped you, give it a like and share it with someone who could use a little reassurance today, because the next step is making this easy to apply day by day for healthier aging.